Hello, hello, and welcome to the newest episode of pdxMindShares, a podcast sponsored by Anvil Media, a digital marketing agency in Portland, Oregon, and brought to you and hosted by pdxMindShare, helping Portland get hired. How is everyone holding up during lockdown number 2? I'm sure you all are thinking of ways you can change your life. Get out there and try something new. Maybe you're going a little stir crazy. And sometimes those thoughts can lead us to reevaluating things like our job. So if you're on the job hunt, you're probably struggling to find your next position, get that interview, or even just get your resume or application noticed. Because odds are, if you're feeling stuck and unfulfilled right now, and you are starting your job search, there are probably at least 200 more around you that are doing the same. So I want to talk today about how to stand out during your job search. You have to stand out above those 200 other people in order to get that phone call for an interview, in order to even get your resume looked at. How do you do that? How do you stand out during your job search? The first thing you want to do as you're putting together your documents, like your cover letter and your resume, is you'll want to add a little bit of emotion to your cover letter. During your rough draft, definitely start with the basics, why you want to be a part of this new team and why you'd be a perfect fit for their team, but then sprinkle it with a little something extra. Why do you want them above anyone else? What is the passion that you have for this particular company or this particular team? Or that particular boss. Maybe there's a supervisor that you've followed for a while on Twitter that you really connect with, that you think you could learn a lot from. Show them how much you want to be a part of their team by adding a little bit of emotion to the cover letter. Connect with them. Emotions hit really hard, and we're all a little bit more open to connection than ever before. Speaking of connection, brings me to point number 2. You'll want to build an insider connection. Getting your foot in the door is the fastest way of standing out because you're putting a face to the name. And the best way to get your foot in the door is through networking. We have to do that virtually right now, but LinkedIn is a great place for that. Message someone from the company on LinkedIn and try to set up a coffee date. Virtual, of course. But you can set up a Zoom call and just chat with them for 5 or 10 minutes over a cup of coffee. Build that connection, because we're all looking for that right now. We all need a friend, even if it's a 5-minute friend. But it's a good time to reach out to a stranger and schedule a call with them, because I feel that most of us are more receptive to that now than ever before. And you'll want to build that connection so they can put in a good word for you at their company. And it gets you a little bit closer and hopefully gets the hiring manager to quit flipping through resumes and passing over your name. Next, I definitely want to put out this idea of a pre-interview project. So a great way to stand out during a job search, but also get you a little bit further in the interview process to actually getting an offer, is to show that you can do the job before you actually get the job. If you know how to do this job, don't just tell them through nice words in your cover letter. Show them. Do a little sampling, a small document or presentation of a time when you performed this particular task and got the positive results that you want to share with them in an interview story or interview scenario. It goes a lot farther than just telling a story during an interview when you can show them the work that you've done and give them something that they can look at. Look at their website and find out what are their biggest pain points. Go to their blog, look at their LinkedIn profiles. What do they say are their biggest challenges at this company? Do a quick sample project of a strategy you would use in your first 90 days to solve that pain point, or at least get them a little closer to progress on resolving that pain point if it's going to be more of an ongoing issue. They want to hire someone to solve their problems, so show them you can. A good example of this is, as a project manager, what was a strategy I did on a campaign and what were the results for a client. So I did a presentation deck of the problem the client had, the strategy we came up with to follow through over the next month to solve that problem, and the results it yielded. So instead of just saying a scenario of something cool that I did, I gave them a document with hard facts and gave them a step-by-step bullet point story of what I did. And that included different roles on my team of who did what budget was used during the month. I broke it all down in sort of a project manager report, which is something a project manager would have to do for their job regularly. So I proved that I could do the job before I even got hired. I did what I knew they would have me do every day or every month when I got the job before I even went into interview for it. Next, do your research and definitely include that in your communications with them. And I'm talking about before the interview even. Talking about some accomplishment you noticed, or their core values, or a pain point they have that you discovered in your research. Those are all great to talk about during the interview, but you definitely don't have to wait until that moment to pull all that out. If you put in this time and effort into research, they want to know that. That's impressive. And a lot of people don't do the research until they get the interview, until they have it scheduled on their calendar. So blow them away and show them you did your research even before you got that call to schedule an interview. Even more than that, go a step further. When you apply and send them an email or apply through their website, include a brief overview of your 30-day, 60-day, and 90-day plan. What do you plan to do for them in your first quarter as their employee after you get hired? And last one, follow up. If you listened to our earlier episode, the hiring process from the recruiter's point of view, you may have learned that only about a third of people follow up. A lot of people are just sending off their resumes through Indeed and forgetting about it. They're not really taking the time to stay in touch, check in, find out if their application even got reviewed. So what really puts you ahead of the competition, or at least 1/3 of it, is follow up. Obviously wait a respectable amount of time, but it can be super simple as just sending a quick email. Hey, my name is, I sent in an application on this date. Just wanted to follow up and see if you had a chance to review it. I'm really excited about this opportunity. And throw in a couple little nuggets of why you'd be a great fit. Kind of a repeat of your cover letter, but a little bit different wording so it sounds original. But either way, a nice quick email follow-up. It's super simple and it already puts you ahead of the curve. Don't miss out on that opportunity. Well, that's it for me today, folks. Good luck with getting the hiring manager's attention. I know competition is rough out there, but you got this. For more job search success tips, keep listening here on our podcast at pdxMindShares. And also follow our blog at www.pdxMindShare.com/our-blog.